from Karnataka, India. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am a reverted Muslim, alhamdulillah. My question is why Peace TV is not broadcasting through air, radio or FM? Because I think it is very easy to access radio than TV. So please telecast Peace TV on radio or FM so that people all over the world may inshallah hear the true guidance for humanity. May Allah reward you with goodness. This is my important question to you, sir. Please, 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 15 times please, answer me. MashaAllah. May Allah bless you. May He accept all your du'as. Please make du'as for me to do more ibadah to Allah, to be a good believer and a da'i. May Allah guide us to straight path. Ameen. I am a subscriber of Al Hidayah. Brother Virashappa, who's a revert, he asked a question on the Al Hidayah platform that why don't we telecast Peace TV on the FM radio? Because he feels that it's more easy to access and more people will watch. Normally when you broadcast from the satellite, it can be of two types. It is either audio broadcast, like for example on the radio, or it's a video broadcast like a television. The video broadcast is called a telecast. You cannot telecast on the radio. So just to correct you. But coming to a basic question that why don't we broadcast the audio signals of the Peace TV on the radio FM? The point to be noted is that, but naturally, the reach of the satellite is multiple times more. The reach of the television satellite is multiple times more than a radio. Yes, there was a time when radio was number one in the world, but a few decades earlier, when the television came, people thought that radio would be obsolete, but alhamdulillah, yet the radio is there. It has its own importance. But as time has kept on changing, but natural, earlier the television telecast was very expensive. It was beyond the budget of most of the people. Therefore, radio was an option, a cheaper option. Now, alhamdulillah, both have become cheaper. But today, depending upon your reach and your popularity, you have to take your decision. And according to me, today, the best media today in the world, which has the maximum reach, after all the advancement till today also, it is the television satellite channels. Yes, social media is catching up. The gap between the two is decreasing. But yet, as per today, 2021, according to my research, people may agree, may not agree, the television satellite channel is the best. And especially if you have a large viewership, the best and the cheapest method is telecasting through a satellite channel throughout the world. The radio FM today yet has its own benefits. I do agree with you that the reach of the radio in terms of people receiving radio signal is much more easier than receiving the television signals. For example, in India today, maybe 99% of India can receive the radio signal. The television satellite signals is much lesser. The analog is much more, maybe more than 90%, but the satellite digital is much less. I do agree with you. But today, people watch more of the television as compared to the radio. But radio has its own niche, especially if it's music. It's much more heard because people who love music, they like that. But seeing the genre of an Islamic entertainment channel, yet I would feel that satellite is the best amongst all. And now the audio broadcast has got various other options. You have the internet, you have streaming. Now this, on the internet and streaming, you have both the options. You have audio, we have video also. So that's the reason the options of audio and video have increased. So seeing all the various scenarios, if you have the budget, today I would recommend that the best is utilize the satellite media, you'll have the maximum reach at an effective cost. If you don't have budget at all, then the cheapest would be the social media. You can do it for free. You can spend hundreds and thousands of dollars. You can spend millions of dollars a month. You can spend much more than that also. It depends upon what level do you want to reach on the social media. Radio also has its own advantage. For example, if you're traveling in a car and if you're in a traffic jam, people like listening to radio. And in the Islamic genre, the effective mode for radio broadcast is maybe the qiraat. More people would love to hear a qiraat, maybe a recitation of the Quran while they're traveling in a car. But if possible, you should try and use as many modes as possible. So best would be on the satellite channel as well as the radio FM as well as on the internet and various methodology. But as far as the radio FM is concerned, there are drawbacks in getting the license. It's not as easy as that. And especially in India, the Indian government, especially since we have the new government in the last few years, I do not know of any single Islamic satellite television channel which has got an official broadcasting permission, except there's one Shia channel. But in the mainstream Islamic channel, I don't know of a single. Even Peace TV had applied and they had declined because it's a channel that is propagating the haqq, the deen of Islam. Similarly, I doubt whether the Indian government would give permission for a radio FM to be launched in India. And the advantage of radio FM is it is more of a local, if you want to reach a particular city or a particular state in that particular language or a particular country. The international radio broadcasts that is there, that's not that popular. The radio FM, which is localized, is more popular. It has its advantages, though it's not as widely watched as the television, but it has its own pros and cons. We tried, we could not get the permission in India, and we tried even in certain other countries. There are too many hassles, but natural, it is much cheaper than the satellite. So best is to have on the satellite and the radio and the internet. So because of the various problems that are there, we chose the best, the largest, that is the satellite, and we also there on the internet, on the various social media platform. But the satellite reach, after the technology has increased, it is much more cheaper, especially if you have a large viewership. If on the satellite your viewership is small, it becomes very expensive per person. But if you have a large viewership, especially like what Peace TV has, it has more than 100 million viewers, then the effective cost is very cheap, depending upon which country you're doing it. For example, when we used to telecast in USA, one is the reach that anyone who has a dish can watch. One is the potential viewership. It's coming in your house, you may watch or may not watch. So that time maybe our potential viewership was 100 million in USA, but the practical viewership was hardly 1 or 2 million, actual viewership. And the cost of one person actually viewing Peace TV, it was per year approximately $3 to $5 per person watching full year. The same cost if we compared in UK, where our viewership was about 2-3 million, the cost per person was approximately $1 per year per person. Same if you compare in Asia, in the Indian subcontinent, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh and the other countries, our cost of telecast was in $1, 50 people could watch for the full year. That means it is so cheap. 50 people watching full year and you are spending only $1. So comparatively, USA is about 250 times more expensive than the Indian subcontinent. And UK is about 50 times more expensive than the Indian subcontinent. Because the reach is wide, once you telecast, irrespective whether one person is watching or 100 people are watching or 1 million are watching or 100 million are watching, the cost of telecast, the broadcast is the same. Unlike while streaming, the more people that stream, more expensive it is, depending if you want a low quality or a high quality. And the cost of streaming, if you want a high quality, somewhat like Netflix, it's very expensive. So if you want to stream, like Peach TV network, alhamdulillah, according to 2016 estimate, it had more than 200 million viewers, similar to what Netflix has now. So the cost of streaming on the quality of Netflix on Amazon would be 100 times more expensive than what we are doing on the Peach TV. But naturally, the Netflix has the advantage of revenue, and they can do what you want, video on demand. So everything has its pros and cons. For that reason, we launched the Al Hidayah, which is a different platform. It's a streaming platform, and it's a subscription based. But I do agree with you, brother Virishappa, that radio will increase the reach, but the headache involved and not getting the permission, we didn't really go into it. But it has its own pros and cons. But as far as the Islamic edutainment channel like Peace TV is concerned, the benefit will not be that much as compared to the money spent. That is the reason we didn't really go into the audio broadcast of the Peace TV channels. Hope that answers the question.